Okay, so before I install 7900, I'm going to run a couple of tests in 2020. Why am I doing this? And I don't really use 2020 anymore. Just to, I've looked up on YouTube and can't see many videos about 3080 running Crystal Light in 2020 and what the results are like. Before I whip out the 3080 out of my system and replace it with the 7900, I just thought I'd run through a couple of flights, the standard ones again in New York, like we did with all the other flights. I'll put should be on the screen now that you can link to the 2024 test that I done. And it's just really to, I won't explain it too much, it's just really to help out others out there who might be in the boat that they're thinking about getting a Crystal Light, but they don't have the 40 or 50 series and they're wondering, will my 30 series work with the Crystal Light until I get the money together to get maybe a 40 or 50 series or a 7900. I was in that way, I had the money, I had to make the decision, did I want to get GPU or did I want to get the headset? And it was at a time when my other VR headset stopped working, the Windows, that's not that long ago, I should remember, HP Riva. So I was using that bricked because HP gave up on VR, didn't give a crap about people, just go, we're not doing VR anymore, stuffed the lot of you. Pretty much is what the result was. And Windows then goes, nah, we're not supporting Windows Media VR anymore, so stuff the lot of you as well. We don't care how much you spend on your VR headsets. Nothing to do with us. Go and do whatever you want. So I switched over to I had a bit of spare money. I switched over to Crystal Light. The light that I did because it is next level up from HP Reaver, which fair enough, that was when I bought it was $1,000 for that. Crystal Light was about 1,500 Aussie dollars when I bought it. But as I say, I've done a couple of tests in the 2024 and watch on the channel. I'm going to do a couple of tests in 2020 just to see, give a baseline and see what improvement does going from a 38 7900 make 900 XT. Any difference? And enough of me going on and on blabbing on about that. What we're going to do is we're going to do the settings as normal. That means is I'm going to just go into general. I'm going to screens here, of course, don't matter because we're going to do VR. Over to VR, we're going to leave the top ones all as they are. See them here. I'm going to switch to, I have already switched to global rendering quality low end. So, and what I'll do is switch to low end, medium, high, and ultra, I think it is. There'll be all the default settings in here. So if you want to see them, just go into VR and switch them. Tell you what all the settings are. Oops, don't want to save it, discard. Back in again, make sure that we have changed anything. Okay, so we set it to low end, and on the Pimax, I set it to medium settings on the Pimax. Want to see how you do that? It's in the 2024 video as well. I'm not going to go through. Just go here and we will switch over to VR. Unfortunately, means unless I buy another microphone, it's not too bad in the headset. Not as good as this. So switch over everything over to the VR set. do first of all before I do that is we'll go to the world map. We're using the Robinson R66 like we did with every other one. Go to downtown Manhattan. Onto the same thing again, the same helipad. Fly from here. I can't do anything in the low settings in the same and medium settings in Crystal Light. The only option I have maybe is to switch the Crystal Light to game low and apply. That's on game, that's on the low setting of the Crystal Light. Back in the sim, I don't think we'll even be able to run. Nah, if I put my head left and right, we're getting the screen door effect. This is okay. So whatever's happened in 2020, I can't even get anything to work in here in VR. The lowest settings on the sim and the lowest settings on the Crystal Light. Do I even bother trying to lift off here and see? Ah, this is crap. This is absolute I'm not even going to lift off. I'm not even to bother. So whatever updating since I've been in 2020 ages ago with VR, I can't even get the Crystal Light on the lowest setting to work on the lowest setting in the VR in 2020. On with the 3080, it is absolutely broke. It's what 2024 was a couple of months ago. 2020 is now. I'm shocked. I was expecting 2020 to be better. And to be honest with you, I couldn't be bothered trying to tweak things to get this working. I'm sick to death of having to tweak stuff. I just want to use the default settings to... Yeah, it's totally crap. Unflyable. In the story, test over. Probably the best thing. Low settings on the same and low settings in the Crystal Light. 2020 will not even run correctly for me on a 3080. That's pretty definitive of that VR is not working for me in 2020 with my 3080 on the lowest setting in the sim and the lowest setting in Crystal Light. This won't work. Can't even get off the pad in New York. And it's funny because it was the reverse a couple of months ago. It was 2024 wouldn't work. 2020 was working, but now it looks like 2020 just stuffed. Whatever's happened is could be Chase plane, maybe that's causing conflicts, but right now I'm not going to start troubleshooting 2020 to get it working in VR. So pretty much results of the test is VR for me anyways in 2020 and Crystal Light on the 3080 all on the lowest settings doesn't work anymore. But in the story, and if anybody gets it working, I'd love to hear in the comments below, but right now I am gonna forget it and just start using 2024 with the AMD 7900, which is the next thing I need to do is install it and run a couple of tests. See, you can see the other videos on the channel where I'm testing 2024 and it's working fine with the 3080. For now, we'll leave it at that and we'll get VR in 2020 with a Pimax and 3080.